Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star Part 218 based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng waved his hands, and the ancient ship Galaxy merged into the skin of his arm. I got all my spaceships from the Emperors, but I already feel that they're inadequate. My original plan was to get a better spaceship after becoming undying, but this ancient ship Galaxy that can rival a true treasure is better than any spaceship built by humans or the automaton race. Luo Feng was overjoyed. A trace of shrinking aurora flew towards Luo Feng. This startled him, as the Universe Knight who had tried to assassinate him had been easily killed by the aurora. Luo Feng tried to dodge it, but the surrounding space seemed to be sealed, making it difficult for Luo Feng to move. The aurora touched Luo Feng gently. Luo Feng stood on the ground, dazed. The rocks that had begun to float when the treasure was revealed suddenly dropped back down into the hole, and the mountain reverted back to how it was originally. The thousands of auroras shrouding the mountain from sight shot up and flew back to the five-colored Aurora Lake. The heirs watching the scene from afar were all guessing, but none of them could see anything. Look, Blade River Emperor seems to be stupefied. Because he was amazed. A defending true treasure? An attacking true treasure? A treasure to recover his godly body? Luo Feng glanced around, then teleported himself to a canyon in a remote part of the Land of Valuables. It was silent in the canyon. Luo Feng stayed there alone and whispered, "Wine Master." The moment the aurora touched his head, he received some information, a message from the Valuables contributor to the future inheritor of the valuable. He heard a voice passing along the message. "I don't belong to any race, and I've been all alone since the beginning of the universe. The only friend I have is Crane Knight, but Crane is blessed with good luck. I don't know who I should give my valuables to that are no longer of any use to me. Since the Ancestral God School set up a land of valuables, I'll leave this Silver Dragon Phantom ship to my juniors. The conditions are a Sector Lord who wins over 1,000 challenges and completes the third-level Beast God inheritance. If you can satisfy those conditions, you're a true talent of your time. Remember, it was Wine Master who gave you the valuable." Ha ha ha. It was a plain and simple message. Luo Feng immediately realized that it was a Universe Master who had given him the valuable, but his title was a bit bizarre. Wine Master? Wine as his title? Luo Feng was confused. He immediately connected to the virtual universe with his mind. Now that he had high access authority, he could search for lots of secrets in the universe. In the virtual universe. In front of the desk, Luo Feng looked at the laptop screen, searching for Wine Master. There was only a single entry. Luo Feng clicked it. Wine Master, an inborn beast god, and a wind and time beast god. He was a unique life in the universe and was born to be a beast god. He called himself Riding Wind. He was obsessed with drinking, and thus, other supreme beings in the universe gave him the title Wine. He was one of the first beast gods of the Ancestral God School. Deceased. Luo Feng was shocked by the message. This Wine Master was an inborn beast god. There were inborn beast gods and learned beast gods. The latter were those who completed the comprehension of the beast god path and inherited the beast god position, and these were the ordinary beast gods. Yet there were some creatures who were innately universe masters at the beginning of the universe, and they themselves were the beast god manifestation of fusion laws. Deceased. The voice echoed in Luo Feng's ears. "Remember, it was Wine Master who left you the valuable." Ha ha ha. Such a supreme being, deceased. Luo Feng couldn't help but sigh. An alcoholic inborn beast god. Luo Feng could imagine the scene, an inborn beast god carrying a huge wine jar, standing on the ancient ship. Alcoholic. Luo Feng murmured. "Now that you left me a valuable, I'll certainly pay you back if I have the opportunity." An inborn beast god, alcoholic, Wine Master, called himself Riding Wind. Luo Feng had a favorable impression of the fallen Wine Master even though he'd never seen him. Unfortunately, the inborn beast god had been born when the universe first came into being. Perhaps he was older than Primal Chaos City leader and Gigantic Axe founder. He had been one of the earliest beast gods of the Ancestral God School, and he had fallen a long time ago. Even the powerful universe masters can fall, Luo Feng thought. Like the universe supreme masters. If they're willing to pay the price to kill a universe master, most of them can't survive it, except those like Primal Chaos City Leader and 9 Remoteness Master, who have extraordinary skills. Primal Chaos City Leader was invincible in the Primal universe. 9 Remoteness Master was undefeatable in 9 Remoteness Ocean. Luo Feng rejoiced at the choice of his third body. After lamenting the death of Wine Master in the remote cave in the Land of Valuables, he was soon found by other heirs. He was calm and frank, and he continued touring Land of Valuables. The bottom line for him was to tour the Land of Valuables thoroughly because he might obtain some other valuables. Most of his will was practicing in the virtual universe, and thus searching for valuables didn't consume much energy. Half an hour after he obtained Ancient Ship Galaxy, a shadow flew towards him. Blade River, Blade River. Luo Feng lifted his head and saw Thousand Rain Emperor. Thousand Rain Emperor. Luo Feng nodded with a smile. Congratulations. Thousand Rain Emperor said excitedly. I just entered the world of glory and heard that you got one of the 108 valuables. Congratulations. It's no big deal. Luo Feng grinned. Where are the others? True Yang Knight has prepared a celebration meal for you, Thousand Rain Emperor said. Cha Man Emperor and the others are all there. True Yang Knight asked me to invite you. The knight said that getting one of the 108 valuables from the Ancestral God School will be remembered forever, so we need to formally celebrate your achievement. That's why I was asked to invite you. Luo Feng was dazed, then smiled. Teacher True Yang had prepared a celebration meal. Well, I had planned to fly around for a bit longer. Luo Feng looked at the Land of Valuables. But it seems I'll have to come another time. Fly around? For what? Thousand Rain Emperor was confused. There's nothing to fly around for. You've got a valuable, haven't you? Perhaps I can trigger a second valuable, said Luo Feng. Impossible. As long as you open the first valuable, you can't trigger a second one. Thousand Rain Emperor said, this has been the law ever since the Ancestral God School established Land of Valuables. Luo Feng blinked his eyes. Although he had asked Cha Man Emperor about the details of the Land of Valuables, he only knew the basics when the Land of Valuables was opened. He didn't know whether he could open a second valuable. I wouldn't lie to you, Thousand Rain Emperor said. Let's go. Fortunately, you've only been here for a short while. If you wander around here much longer, many heirs from other races will figure out that you're trying to trigger other valuables and will secretly laugh at you. Luo Feng looked around. The heirs in the distance were still amazed by the opening of the valuable half an hour ago. After all, since the birth of the universe, only 42 of the 108 valuables had been opened, 43 including the one opened today. The heirs were conversing with each other and only glanced at Luo Feng once in a while. Most of them looked envious or jealous. No one looked greedy except those great beings from races hostile to the human race. Power and status should match valuables. A Star Traveler level small fry getting a true treasure was like committing suicide. Even for a powerful sector lord like Luo Feng couldn't make it public knowledge that he owned the true treasure Shi Wu Wing, given to him by Primal Chaos City Leader. Otherwise, he would be in trouble. However, it was different for him now. Luo Feng had proven his capabilities by surviving Bark Mirror Emperor and Mud Swallowing Knight. Only a few would dare to try to take the valuables Luo Feng was carrying. After all, it was not worth risking lives for an unknown valuable. When I first stepped off Earth, I was so careful, as even a spaceship of the automaton race would bring me disaster. Luo Feng shook his head and sighed. Now, he had several true treasures, but almost nobody dared to attack him. Bark Mirror Emperor's face twitched. He bared his fangs as he watched Luo Feng and Thousand Rain Emperor leave. The heirs standing beside him knew that Bark Mirror Emperor was furious. Damn it. Goddamn human. Bark Mirror was exasperated. This is pure luck. When the time comes, I'll show you that power is everything. Next time, there'll be no 9 remoteness whirlpool for you to hide in. He hated True Yang and Blade River Emperor. Now, he was full of grievances seeing Blade River Emperor obtaining one of the top 108 valuables. Bark Mirror Emperor, a green-tongued creature said. The reason this Blade River Emperor can kill Emperor Limits as a sector lord has to be the special power of the valuables he gained outside. However, with his power growing, the valuables become less useful. When he becomes undying, those valuables won't be that helpful anymore. No matter what, he's just a human with a low life level. He can in no way compare with special life forms like you and Yuchong Emperor when he becomes undying. You're right. Bark Mirror Emperor's eyes gleamed with satisfaction. He's just a human. Bark Mirror Emperor licked his fangs and looked in Luo Feng's direction. His life level is just so low. Could it be possible that he can be so forceful with his valuables forever? My life level is 1,000 times higher than him even if he becomes undying. Killing him will be as easy as destroying a star. Bark Mirror Emperor was correct. Valuables couldn't help someone forever. A powerful true treasure like Star Tower required amazingly great power to drive completely, which meant treasures without strength meant nothing. As for things like Famo Poison, they were useless in a fight at the Universe Knight level. Even the Golden Armor Golden Horned Beast War was destroyed completely under a strike from Bark Mirror Emperor's burning godly body. Things like General Armors, Golden Armors, and Famo Venom, which had helped Luo Feng a great deal, were either eliminated or significantly weakened. After the celebration meal, Primal Chaos City leader summoned Luo Feng. At the apex of Thunder Island in the virtual universe, Primal Chaos City leader was looking down at Thunder Island in the towering palace enveloped by boundless haze. Luo Feng showed up and gave a salutation. Teacher. Primal Chaos City leader turned around and looked at Luo Feng with his brooding eyes. He smiled and said, "You got one of the 108 valuables?" "Yes," said Luo Feng. "It's a top-tier flying palace-typed treasure. It's called Silver Dragon Phantom Ship." Silver Dragon Phantom Ship? He thought in silence for a while but couldn't recall that valuable. He continued, "You're lucky to have a flying palace type because it's rare and precious. Flying palace type top-tier treasures might be more highly desired by Universe Knights than the Shi Wu Wing I gave you." Luo Feng nodded, as he had thought that too. "Who left it there?" Primal Chaos City leader asked him. "Wine Master," Luo Feng said. "I've searched for him online, and know he was one of the earliest beast gods of the ancestral god school." "Wine Master? Riding Wind?" Primal Chaos City leader broke into laughter. "Now I know it. It's his wine ship." That Wine Master was a very interesting universe master, and he was unbelievably powerful as an inborn beast god. Unfortunately, inborn beast gods are destined to be hunted, and that's why. Primal Chaos City leader sulked. Luo Feng was startled. Inborn beast gods were destined to be hunted. He couldn't help recalling the ancient picture he had previously seen in Blood River World. There had been a supreme being fighting the beast god in Blood River World, and that beast god seemed to have fallen. Why were they hunted? Luo Feng couldn't help asking. Primal Chaos City leader glanced at Luo Feng and answered calmly, "Inborn beast gods are different from the learned ones. They were born out of the essence of the universe, which made them a natural valuable. Their scales, furs, and blood, every part of their bodies had amazing effects and were more precious than several thousand of or even 10,000 ordinary true treasures. Hunting an inborn beast god was a feast where lots of supreme beings joined." Luo Feng was shocked. Their bodies. Every part, for resources and for opportunities, Primal Chaos City leader said. There are many different ways to compete. Malice, and thus killings among different races in the universe, were a form of competition. Yet the ancestral god school, who claimed not to favor any faction or occupy any territory, practices a different type of competition. It may appear not to be involved in competition on the surface, but it has reached another level of it. Luo Feng nodded. As an old saying went in Hua Xia, only by giving up the competition can a man find no competitors in the world. Finding no competitors in the world required a great amount of power and influence. For instance, the ancestral god school couldn't reach a higher level of competition without its 3 ancestral gods and its neutrality policy. And that was how it could attract countless talent fighters from all the races in the universe through inheritance tokens. At the same time, other races were willing to send their talented fighters within their races to the Ancestral God School for training, as they knew the Ancestral God School didn't compete, at least superficially. That was how the Ancestral God School had become the #1 power in the universe. They're all competing with each other. Primal Chaos City leader said. Ever since the first time an inborn beast god died, all the races in the universe knew the majestic functions of a dead inborn beast god. From then on, all the other inborn beast gods were hunted. No matter how powerful they are, unless they hide forever, they will fall under intensive attacks. Primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. Like the blood river crystals you're using. Those came from an inborn beast god. Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. The one who had died in Blood River World was indeed an inborn beast god. Remember, the weak are the prey of the strong. Primal Chaos City leader stared at Luo Feng. That is the law of the strong. You are one of another race to all the other races in the universe, and nobody will pity you. The only thing eternal is competition, the fight. All you must do is gain resources continuously to make yourself stronger. If you're stronger, your race is stronger. The strength of a race is determined by the most senior group, and each member of that group is a pillar of the race. You're quite likely to become a pillar of our human race. Luo Feng nodded. Before you become undying, merge with that blood river crystal completely, Primal Chaos City leader said. It can help you improve your life gene level. You're a black warrior. You're likely to improve your life gene level to 100 times stronger than a universe ordinary life. 100 times? Luo Feng asked. The life gene level of his original earthling body was already 48 times stronger since Luo Feng started practicing the 9-volume manual. If he used the power of Blood River, it would hit 480 times. It was already a major universe special life form. 100 times is the limit. Primal Chaos City leader said. Body, strength, and amplification 100 times is their limit. And it's the same for soul amplification and life gene level. This is part of the universe's rule, just as light speed is the fastest one can travel in the original universe. Luo Feng held his breath. Both body strength amplification and soul spirit amplification were extremely rare. Luo Feng only had 32 times soul amplification after receiving Demon Note General Inheritance, which was soul spirit amplification technique. As for body strength amplification, Luo Feng hadn't had such luck. The limit is 100 times. Luo Feng murmured. That's right. 100 times. However, his original earthling body was already 480 times stronger, and his golden horned beast body was over 1,000 times stronger. Are there any other ways to improve the life gene level more than 100 times? Luo Feng asked. Yes, said Primal Chaos City leader. What is it? Asked Luo Feng. Soul transfer, Primal Chaos City leader answered. You do soul transfer on a special organism, and once that's completed, you'll have the body of a special life, just with a different soul. Though some soul-related talent techniques will disappear, those body-related talent techniques and life gene levels can both be inherited. But it is difficult. First of all, undying fighters' life imprints are merged with each of their cell fragments, and if you destroy their life imprints, you effectively destroy their entire godly body. That is why you can only do soul transfer on creatures beneath the undying level. Besides, if I'm a sector lord trying to do soul transfer on a universe-level special life form, it'll be easier to defeat him than to transfer his soul. Even if you try to transfer his soul, my sector lord soul will be a huge burden to the body, and it will be crushed if the body can't withhold it. Luo Feng nodded. He knew that souls and bodies had to match each other. For humans, in general, their bodies needed to be at level 7 sector lord to hold level 9 sector lord human souls. Otherwise, the bodies would be crushed. You need to find a special life form whose body can withhold your soul, Primal Chaos City leader explained, but if his body is capable of doing that, it means that special life form is your match. And together with his talent techniques, chances are that you'll be killed by him. Besides, sector lord level special life forms hardly leave the secret region of the universe, and even if you can meet and defeat them, they'd rather self-destruct than have soul transfer done to them. In short, Doing soul transfer on special life forms is highly beneficial, but it's difficult to succeed. Only a few have succeeded so far. Are there any other ways? Luo Feng asked. Those like you who have clone techniques can breed a special organism body, Primal Chaos City leader said. Of course, the downside is that a special organism that can be bred is generally one of the weak ones. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. He couldn't breed a world tree. He had golden horned beast's internal world. It swallowed a huge amount of metal to form a gigantic internal world, but it could only breed a body with a life level hundreds of times higher. In short, there are lots of ways to accomplish it, and it often needs special organisms, said Primal Chaos City leader. Any other ways? Luo Feng asked again. No, there are not. Primal Chaos City leader shook his head. However, he hesitated and added, of course, there are hundreds of millions of races in the universe, and there are some supreme beings. Some secrets remained undiscovered. Perhaps there are some methods even I don't know of. However, I can be sure of one thing. It's a fair universe. Even if there are some secret, extraordinary methods, they'll surely cost a lot. Luo Feng nodded. That was right. The 9-volume manual was created by the Universe Supreme Master Zhuoshan Ku, who devoted all his time and energy and created the invaluable Sky Soul crystal to bear it, and only after that could it be inherited. Even so, only one creature could obtain the information of the 9-volume manual. It could be seen how demanding the universe rule was. Primal Chaos City leader smiled. Don't overthink it. 100 times was the limit. It's already rare to be 100 times stronger. Lots of universe knights only improve their life gene level 10 times. As for you, you're a black warrior, and you're already at 10 times. You can improve it a great deal with beast godblood in the future. Luo Feng nodded. He also planned to merge with blood river crystals before becoming undying. Thus, his godly body could reach a supreme level after becoming undying. Go, said Primal Chaos City leader. If you need beast god blood, you can apply for the resource through the Virtual Universe Company. Yes. Luo Feng gave a salutation and left. In the palace of Primal Secret Region, Moshe Body sat with his legs crossed, and in the internal world, Golden Horned Beast started to merge blood river crystals again. Luo Feng had let Golden Horned Beast body merge with blood river crystals in the outer region battlefield before, and he could merge with 165 blood river crystal. Back then, he had only completed the first volume of the 9-volume manual and hadn't completely transformed his will, as he hadn't completed the life or death inheritance in Star Tower. 166, 167, 168. Golden Horned Beast sat there like a mountain. As for Luo Feng's original earthling body, he sat on the Golden Horned Beast's back with his legs crossed. As a space beast measuring over 600 miles long, he was like a towering mountain with a broad back. The original earthling body sitting on his back looked like he was in the middle of colossal, rolling plains. The original earthling body moved his wings and cut through the scales, creating a deep wound in Golden Horned Beast's back. The original earthling body took out a triangular prism-shaped blood crystal and tossed it into the gaping cut. Then another. And another. Golden Horned Beast merged with each of the blood river crystals as they were thrown into its body. The process repeated itself over and over again. 196, 197, 198. Luo Feng said, tossing blood river crystals into the wound. He recalled the life or death inheritance last time, a life or death experience lasting more than 6,000 years. It had completely reshaped his will, and he had made great advancements in the 10,000 years since the last blood river crystal merging. 200. After the 200th blood river crystal integrated into Golden Horned Beast's back, the back started to flow with the blood river energies. The muscles, bones, and scales on it were transformed instantly. The back bulged, and the muscles twisted like pieces of rebar under enormous pressure. The scales condensed and turned golden. There were bloody threads on the golden scales, and they constituted a terrific, roaring beast god. The mighty power, the magnificent power, After completing the first 5 volumes of 9-volume manual, coupled with Golden Horned Beast's life gene level being 10 times that of ordinary life forms, his life gene level had been improved 480 times. Now, under the Blood River energies, his right claw hit the limit instantly. His back was improved 20 times, which was twice as powerful as the undriven body. The same thing happened to his right claw, and once it was driven, it was twice as powerful as the body before the Blood River energies began to flow. Keep merging. Keep the balance and choose the left claw. The original Earthling body stood on the boundless meadow, looking at the giant claws. The scales on the claws were cut, and blood was dripping down. Luo Feng threw in one Blood River crystal after another. 226, 227, 228. The process continued 281, 282. They have started to affect his will. The original Earthling body frowned. After merging 282 Blood River crystals, Golden Horned Beast's mind was affected by the vicious energy. I can see how much I've improved based on the number of Blood River crystals I'm able to merge with. My will was greatly enhanced. Luo Feng didn't change his facial expression at all. The pain under the vicious attack and the Blood River energies merging were nothing compared to the agony he'd had to endure when Star Tower integrated with his soul. 299, 300. His right claw had also hit the limit. Howl. Golden Horned Beast roared with thrill. Meanwhile, he moved his front claws, and both his claws became sturdy. His scales turned shining gold. 2 beast god heads made of bloody threads roared on the golden scales. Golden Horned Beast could feel his power surge as he stepped on the image of the beast god. I think he can still merge dozens more, thought Luo Feng. And to make it more beneficial, I need to merge it in different places. Luo Feng made up his mind. 10 more for each part of his body. Luo Feng was exhilarated every time one more crystal was merged, as this represented his power increasing. However, there was a limit to his power. With his ultra-strong will, he was able to merge 380 Blood River crystals. When he was trying to merge the 381st one, however, he couldn't withhold it anymore. The energy surpassed his limits. Luo Feng screamed with agony and failed. The right claw, the left claw, and the back had all merged with 100 Blood River crystals. The tail, both of the back claws, the scaled wing, and the upper back all merged with 10 Blood River crystals while the head merged with 20. He had successfully merged with 380 crystals. The right claw, the left claw, and the back are all twice as powerful as before the Blood River energies were integrated, he said, gasping. The other 7 areas of my body also became twice as powerful. Which means it's now more than 6,000 times stronger than that of a sector lord. My life gene level is more than 6,000 times stronger now, nearly 6,500 times stronger, in fact. Golden Horned Beast lifted his head and roared, feeling the Blood River energies that had penetrated every part of his body. The genes changed instantly, together with the constitution. The bones started to crack, and suddenly, Golden Horned Beast grew to twice its previous size. The scales became pale, especially the front claws and the back, which were the sturdiest parts of the body. Each scale was covered with bloody threads and formed one beast god picture after another. Some of them were simple while others were exquisite. The bloodline empowered Golden Horned Beast a great deal. It should be 6,400 times more powerful. The body had been 480 times stronger before the energies were driven. Now, it was 6,400 times stronger now. Golden Horned Beast started to roar with excitement. Oh, 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 ha ha. 6,000 times. I'm 6,000 times stronger. Zhuchong Emperor, as a special life form, is only 5,000 times. Bark Mirror Emperor's life gene level is 2,000 times, and there are only a few in the universe can rival him. I'm even stronger than Zhuchong Emperor. Luo Feng looked up at Golden Horned Beast with excitement. Magnificent. His life gene level was higher than the special life form Zhuchong Emperor. Luo Feng made a quick estimate. Only the extraordinary have life gene levels higher than 5,000 times. Now, I am one of them. Based on the number of Blood River crystals, I can put 100 on each part of my body, and there'll be 1,000 of them. After which, my life gene level will be 10,000 times higher. 10,000 times. Special life forms were generally thousands of times stronger, some as high as 10,000 times. For ordinary life forms, 100 times was the limit, and as for special life forms, 10,000 times was their limit. After venting his excitement, Luo Feng smiled and said, "Golden Horned Beast body is indeed my trump card. With high life gene level and a body 600 miles long, it'll take a long time to burn his godly body. Compared to humans, who grew barely over 6 feet tall, golden horned beasts had much more godly power. A high life gene level and an extremely large body, how incredible was that?" Expectation flashed in Luo Feng's eyes. Now I'll try blood river crystals on my original earthling body. The original earthling body was different from golden horned beast. Golden horned beast had an enormous body, which required 10 different parts to complete the merging, yet the original earthling body was far smaller than a single claw of the golden horned beast. Thus, the original earthling body could only merge with 100 blood river crystals at most. My life gene level is 6 times stronger after finishing the second volume of the 9-volume manual, said Luo Feng, and I successfully merged with 10 blood river crystals after that. Now I've finished the first 5, and my life gene level is 48 times higher. I wonder how many crystals I can merge with. Without a doubt, his will could withhold the evil energy from 380 blood river crystals. As for the number of crystals his original earthling body could merge with, it depended on the life genes of the earthling. 11th 1. Luo Feng scratched his palm and started to merge with blood river crystals. One blood river crystal after another merged with the original earthling body, whose life gene level was 48 times stronger. 61. Luo Feng kept merging with blood river crystals. 81, 82, 83, no. Suddenly, Luo Feng could feel his muscles and bones being torn apart, and the blood river energies flowed back into the 83rd blood river crystal. 82, he said. Only 82? Luo Feng was reluctant to believe it. The first time Golden Horned Beast merged with 100 blood river crystals, he hadn't even practiced the 9-volume manual, and Golden Horned Beast's life level was only 10 times. On the contrary, the life gene level of Luo Feng's original earthling body was 48 times stronger, but it couldn't compare to Golden Horned Beast in the past. Is it because blood river crystals are more suitable for Golden Horned Beast? Luo Feng thought. Based on his observation, it was difficult for other life forms to merge with blood river crystals, including his original earthling body, who could only merge with 10 after finishing the first 2 volumes of the 9-volume manual, whereas it was always easy for the Golden Horned Beast to merge with them. Golden Horned Beast bodies could merge with blood river crystals at all times. The only thing that troubled Luo Feng was that his will was not able to withstand the evil energy. Blood river crystals come from the gold and space inborn beast god, thought Luo Feng. Golden Horned Beasts are the peak race of space beasts of the gold attribute, and they have swallowing power. Perhaps Golden Horned Beasts are designed for merging with blood river crystals. It's demanding for a part of the life gene to merge with blood river crystals, he muttered, but Golden Horned Beasts are born able to withstand the process. As for the 9-volume manual, it will improve the life gene as a whole, simultaneously improving that part of my body. That must be why it's easier for me to merge with blood river crystals. On the plain, the Golden Horned Beast lay with a human leaning against its enormous claw. What should I do? Luo Feng said, leaning on the cold scales. I can only merge with 82 blood river crystals. If I can merge with 100 crystals, my original earthling body would be 4,800 times. Although my original earthling body is small, it would have high combat power. Am I only able to merge my original earthling body with 100 blood river crystals after I finish the 6th volume of the 9-volume manual? No. Maybe. Luo Feng sat up abruptly. Beast god blood. He nodded and quickly used a portion of his mind to connect to the virtual universe. In front of the desk of Yu Xiong Mountain of the virtual universe, Luo Feng read the information of beast god blood and frowned. I can get a drop of beast god blood from 100 blood river crystals, but the process is complicated. I have to apply for it through the virtual universe company. A single drop of beast god blood merging with the body was equal to one blood river crystal merging with the body. That was why beast god blood was so highly sought after. The typical limit was 100 blood river crystals. For beast god blood, it required 100 drops, which cost 10,000 blood river crystals. This was the price one had to pay to lower the effect of the evil energy and to reduce the pain. After all, a human body that could merge with 10 blood river crystals might only be born once in many countless eras. I wonder how much beast god blood I can apply for, Luofeng thought. These precious resources are strictly managed. Lots of emperors have to wait for an auction to bid on it. At the same time, Luofeng was filled with his application. After a short while, a fox-like girl with downy ears and soft purple hair appeared on the screen. She was likely a fox human of the human race. "Greetings, Mr. Luofeng," she said. "I need beast god blood," Luofeng said bluntly. The fox girl paused to check something. "According to the quota," she said, "you can have 50 drops of beast god blood for free." She flashed a lovely smile, but deep in her heart, she was shocked. Universe Knights and Universe Masters weren't qualified for free resources. On the contrary, they needed to trade for them through their contributions to the race. As for some emperors who deserved cultivation, they might receive some highly limited resources, perhaps 10 blood river crystals, but they couldn't have a single drop of beast god blood. Her job was to receive the seniors of the race, and she had never seen anyone qualified for 50 drops of beast god blood for free. No wonder he's a peerless genius, thought the fox girl. Everyone says he's Blade River Emperor, and if that's the case, it's not surprising. "Give me 30, Luofeng said. "Certainly," said the fox girl. "Where shall it be delivered?" "This is the address." Luofeng typed his detailed address in the Primal secret region. His residence was within Primal Chaos City Leader's territory, at the core of the center of the Primal secret region. In the Primal secret region. The fox girl smiled. "The 30 drops of blood will be delivered today." "Okay." Luofeng nodded. He turned off the telecommunications. "For free, eh?" He smiled. "It seems my race has a quota of free resources for me. But until I apply for them, they won't be given to me. 50 drops of beast god blood. I've heard it's difficult to get that much even at an auction. However, my original earthling body is able to merge with 82 blood river crystals, and all I need are 18 drops of beast god blood. As for the golden horned beast, he needs more than 600 blood river crystals, and beast god blood can't do it all. His golden horned beast body's life gene level was already strengthened 6,000 times. When he became undying someday and owned an enormous amount of superior undying power, he would breed a powerful consciousness. That could help his will to some extent, just as a strong-bodied person had a staunch will, whereas a feeble person had a wavering will. The strength of a soul served a supporting function. Universe Masters, who had extensive godly power and had their souls integrated with the universe, had stronger wills than Luofeng. Although they were relatively lucky, their godly power was the main reason for the powerful wills. It was impossible for an ordinary being to have a will that could rival a Universe Master. The life gene level is already strengthened 6,000 times, thought Luofeng. After that, the amplification will improve only slightly each time. There's no need to rush it. After only 3 hours, a servant delivered a space ring to the palace where Luofeng lived. His beast god blood was in the ring. "Go," Luofeng said. "Yes," the undying servant answered respectfully. In the territory of Primal Chaos City Leader, even the delivery men were undying, and they needed to compete for those positions, as those without skills wouldn't be admitted. After all, here they could see the great Primal Chaos City Leader from time to time. Usually, the disciples of Primal Chaos City Leader lived here. Luofeng went back to his internal world. He took a silver suitcase out of the space ring and opened it to find 30 transparent tubes inside. There was a drop of shiny golden light in each tube, emanating considerable energy. Luofeng could practically hear the roaring of the beast god. Beast god blood. Luofeng took out a tube, unplugged it and poured it on his left palm. It looked like pure, golden light, but he could see, within the light, that it was actually a golden liquid. countless law engravings flowing within it. The golden light dropped into his palm and penetrated the skin. Luo Feng's body started to glimmer with golden light. The blood river energies in Luo Feng's cells were already sturdy, and the drop of beast god blood merged with them easily without causing any reaction. Black warriors can please Primal Chaos City leader teacher, said Luo Feng. He says merging with beast god blood is an easy task. Now that I can merge with 82 blood river crystals, I'm already way ahead of the limit of a black warrior. Luo Feng smiled. Absorbing the beast god blood is like drinking water to me. He took out another tube, opened it, and poured out the beast god blood. One drop after another, the beast god blood merged with Luo Feng's body. After a short while, all 18 drops had successfully integrated with Luo Feng, which was an easier task than he had previously perceived it to be. When Luo Feng tried the 19th drop of beast god blood, it only rolled on his palm and lay there without seeping in. That seems to be the limit, Luo Feng said, nodding. I've already hit the limit of blood river energies. His eyes gleamed. Now, drive the blood river energies. An ancient force shot out from Luo Feng's body. It suddenly felt as if energy from the origin of the entire universe was emanating from deep inside him. His body was heightened and strengthened, and indistinct scales formed on every inch of his skin. Countless threads wound across his body, and a giant image of a roaring beast god appeared on his chest, so detailed and realistic that it looked like an actual, bellowing beast god in all its exquisite detail. Golden halos pulsated outward, surrounding his body. Luo Feng looked down at his chest. He had already taken off his armor as he wanted to feel the power touching his body. How mighty this energy is. Huh! Luo Feng was stunned. Wait. Something's wrong. Only 3,000 times? How is that possible? Luo Feng was perplexed. Theoretically, once 100 blood river crystals were merged with the body would be 100 times stronger. Golden Horned Beast's right claw had been strengthened 100 times at the beginning, and it stopped growing after hitting the 10,000 times limit. Luo Feng frowned. I was originally 48 times stronger, but now that I've surpassed being strengthened 3,000 times, I'm only around 60 times stronger than before. The effect was weakened. The blood river energies that worked perfectly on the Golden Horned Beast were far less effective on the original Earthling body. Luo Feng considered the implications. Beast god blood might be useless for the special life forms in the universe. Like a unique life form of water category whose life gene level is already thousands of times stronger, the beast god blood won't help that much. Beast god blood comes from an inborn beast god of gold and space. Is it possible that the beast god blood worked well in the beginning, but its effect will be weakened as time goes by? He decided to let the matter drop. Regardless of the reason, it was now proven that the original Earthling body reached a life gene level that was 3,000 times stronger after merging with the beast god blood, together with its 48 times stronger base. I'll just wait. My life gene level can be improved when I get another metal from the 9-volume manual. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Although it hadn't been the best possible outcome, he was still exhilarated that his life gene level had been improved 3,000 times. That put it at the level of some top-tier special life forms in the universe. Fortunately, I have the 9-volume manual, Luo Feng thought. Otherwise, I'd be like other life forms of the other races in the universe, who can only improve their life gene level to 100 times. The 9-volume manual. It was his secret weapon. With it, Luo Feng could rival top-tier special life forms. Other things like blood river crystals were just icing on the cake. Time passed. Since the original Earthling body and Golden Horned Beast body had merged with blood river crystals, Luo Feng continued to train in seclusion. He didn't do anything but spend time with his family. After another century, his third body was about to be born. In the internal world, Golden Horned Beast's claws gripped the plane like pillars. He looked up at the sky. Mosha body stood on Golden Horned Beast's back, gazing at the sky as well. There was a colossal, oval-shaped, golden egg floating in the sky. The golden egg had been small when it first came into being, but it had grown larger and larger as time went by, and it was now more than 6,000 miles tall. Soon, said Luo Feng. It'll soon be born. Luo Feng pondered the result. Will it be a whole sea? The life form in the oval golden egg would remain a mystery until it revealed itself. Around 8 hours later, dozens of hairline fractures appeared on the colossal, golden egg. Luo Feng and his 3 other bodies held their breath as they watched. All at once, the eggshell was completely crushed. In its place was a giant man in the sky, standing almost 6,000 miles tall. Its naked body cast a perfect, almost exotic figure, with sparkling skin and crystal-clear jades across its skin, and bloody threads flowing inside it. Luo Feng's original earthling body and his other bodies were all dazed by such a pleasant surprise. My third body, said Luo Feng, is flesh and blood. This video will end here.